Hey there! Today we are going to talk about verbs in English. A lot of people ask me when to use go or goes, watch or watches, don't or doesn't. The first thing that you must know, this is not a big monster to destroy. So, let's take a look at the subject pronouns in English. We have I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. When I want to use a verb, to eat, for example, I will say, I eat apples, you eat apples, we eat apples, and they eat apples. The verb keeps the same as the infinitive form, but when we use he, she, or it, we must add an s at the end of the verb. So we have, he eats, she eats, and it eats. Easy, right? We do the same thing when we are talking about someone like John eats or Joanna eats. So, the general rule is adding an s for almost all the verbs except in some cases. When the verb finishes with s, sh, ch, z, x, or o, we add an es at the end of the verb. For example, I go to the mall. Changing for he, we have, he goes to the mall. Another example, you watch TV. She watches TV. The third case is when we have a verb that finishes with a consonant plus y. In this case, we kill the y and replace it by ies. For example, they study English. John studies English. The last case is only for the verb to have, which we use has. For example, we have a car. Joanna has a car. Conjugating verbs in the affirmative form is easy, right? But in the negative and interrogative forms are even easier. For example, I do not have a car. In this case, we conjugate only the auxiliary verb, do. We have seen that when the verb finishes with o, we add es, so our phrase will be, he does not have a car, or he doesn't have a car. We can use the same principle for interrogative ones. For example, do you eat apples? Does she eat apples? Now you know how to conjugate the verbs in the simple present. But be careful, we do not conjugate the modal verbs like can, should, or must. For example, I can drive. It keeps the same for he. He can drive. I'm gonna let an exercise at the end of the video for you to practice, and I will let the answers at the first comment. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I see you on the next class. Bye-bye.